honestly, I feel like I'm great. I mean,
look
so
at them.
I thought all I was going to do is just stand here and drink bourbon. All right. Well, welcome back to Bourbon Theory. I'm Bill.
And I'm Josh.
And today we are going to do a tasting of 1792. This is an older bottling, as you can tell by the older bottle. And it says Ridgemont Reserve. This is a barrel select store pick out of State Line Select, State Line Beverage, down in South Carolina, just over the border from North Carolina, just south of Charlotte. No age statement on this one, but they are clear on where it was bottled and distilled, and that is at the Barton Distilling Company in Bardstown, Kentucky. Got a decent color to it.
You have a lot of experience with 1792.
I do.
One of your absolute favorite brands.
I have a full shelf of it.
And when we say full shelf, we mean full entire shelf.
That's 7 foot long shelf of it. Yes.
With every single one, with the exception of one or maybe two bottles?
No, I think I've got them all. I think.
Really?
4 or 5 bottles deep. The only thing I don't have that many deep on is the port finish, and this is the original port finish, not the later one that recently was re-released. I don't care for it, but I've got it. I'm not a big
big on finishes at all.
Yeah.
I think I've only really tried one finished, so we'll expand our minds on that in later videos.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I will.
I don't expect a change on that one. So again, no age statement on this one. This is, Barton is DSP 12 out of Kentucky. Came out of Warehouse 2. Hopefully that wasn't the one that collapsed. But this one, I don't know, I probably had this bottle for 8 years, something like that. Actually, just recently opened it. And
as you can see, heavy drinkers.
Yeah. So, I'm working on a basement project that you guys will see at some point.
And it's fruition, hopefully.
I gotta just get the ceiling in and then do some rearranging, some cleaning up and some things. And that's where the rest of the story, the rest of the bourbon is. And so we'll see that in some future videos. But without further ado, you ready?
Here we go.
All right.
So this is a small batch, correct?
Now this is a barrel select. So
is that just
small batch?
Default?
Yeah, that's their default labeling.
They've got a little default message on the back that says small batch. So
this one was a barrel select, so I'd say this was a single barrel.
Single barrel. Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh no, we spilled a drop. Nobody, don't pay attention to that.
We did, or I did?
I'll say we for your sake.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we didn't talk about proof. This one is 93.7 proof, 46.85% alcohol. Very exact on that one.
Yes. Now this has such a nice nose that the moment you open the bottle, I can smell it.
Yeah, you don't even have to pick this one up.
Not at all.
To pick it up. This one is
very fruity on the nose.
As they say, it's easy to pick up what this one is putting down.
I'm getting, and this is crazy that I'm getting nose notes without picking up the glass at all. I'm getting like some orange peel right now.
Yes.
Very fresh, very clean,
very
crisp citrus on there.
Yeah.
I think as we pick it up and give it a real nose, we might get a little bit more of the spice on it. And there are more notes than just sweet and spice.
Yes.
And we'll pick up that as we get some more complex things, or maybe some grainy bourbon and things like that.
And Josh is going to get more of this as we go on the bourbon trail. One of the first places I wanted to take him on the trail didn't work out with our scheduling, but I wanted to take him to Woodford. Woodford does an outstanding job in their tasting room, and I wanted to take him for that. But we'll get there, and he'll be able to give a review on their tasting. So
yeah, looking forward to it.
Now, see, the orange doesn't come when you get right into it.
Not as much. There's still a hint of it for me. I think we're getting into more dark fruits as it gets closer, and maybe that could just be the distance kind
It's
of thing.
still very enjoyable. And as I recall, I bought, and knowing me, I bought more than one bottle.
Absolutely. You've at least got one more that's sitting in there that I saw last night.
That one's that family.
Not the same single barrel though.
That one is a bit different. That is an age-stated
newer release,
7-8 year, as I recall, a family size. That's what I call a 1.75 handle or a family size. Or hey,
1.5.
When you have an option and it's something you like, buy the big bottle.
Absolutely.
So, and you have room.
So that's a little interesting that we got that orange peel note from further away, and I still smell it, which you'd think that even after this short period of time, you would sort of get accustomed to that smell, but even as I'm inhaling with my mouth, I am tasting orange peel. Definitely get more. I'm getting kind of, this is definitely more of like an allspice, like a folly kind of spiciness to it.
Yeah, it's not pumpkin spice.
No, definitely not. No.
It's good.
But that fruitiness is coming through as more of a tropical fruit now.
I could just smell this for a while.
I'm honestly, when I set it down here, I was like, I mean, we just talk about it while I sniff it. This is a fantastic nose.
Anybody that has any of this that doesn't like it,
please
let us know.
We'll find a way to get it here. Yeah. So I tried this for the first time last night. So we'll see how my tasting of yesterday compares to today. See if my palate was off yesterday or.
And this is an after dinner tasting too. So we've both eaten recently.
We got a little something on our stomach. We're fresh. We've cleared our palates.
So, or maybe we've disturbed our palate because we ate. So.
Anything else? And definitely, it's more of a tropical fruit.
Definitely, yeah.
It's up here.
It's very,
you can't quite play. Almost like a pineapple, maybe.
Very fruit forward. And I can't say I've ever picked up pineapple on the nose.
Yeah, it has probably the best nose of any whiskey I have ever smelled.
This is good.
Fantastic.
This is good.
This is very good.
All right, let's go.
Oh, hey, whoa, manners.
Thanks, Dad. Very sorry. Okay, this one's been in the barrel for a little while.
Yes, this one definitely has some tanniny, oaky, oakiness from the front palate all the way to the finish.
Yep.
There is still that fruity note. I don't think the pineapple or orange is what it is on the palate.
No, it doesn't come through on the palate as much as it does on the nose.
Absolutely.
The spice and the oak overpower it. They do for me.
Yeah.
They do for me.
For me as well, absolutely. And you're more accustomed to spicier bourbons. So for me, I'm sure I'm definitely have a better experience with this today than I did yesterday. I'm definitely getting more of that sweetness because last night all I kind of got was that spice. And that just goes to show you that tasting things on different days and different times, after you've opened your palate, you've gotten accustomed to what you did some drinking earlier, can really help to give you a different impression of a bourbon.
And your mind's in a different place today than it was yesterday. You had worked 10 hours yesterday.
Yes.
And so you were in a different place. So today we've been
hunting and drinking.
We've been talking about bourbon for
all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
Not maybe 10 hours at this point. So
yeah, probably. I think we started at
9-ish.
9:30 maybe.
Yeah. We had to wait for them to open.
Yeah.
Note to the stores. Open early.
Yeah. I'll be there.
Yeah, we're out there. I was up at 6.
Yeah. I was up at 8:30.
Hey, crack at 8:30, he was rolling out of that bed. So
I'm trying to place that fruit on the palate, but it's a little difficult for me.
I got to go again.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it just went right past that part of my tongue.
But that's that first sip shock.
Right.
So let's get our second one in.
Like I said, the oak came through. I mean, this, I wouldn't put it old.
No.
But probably 6.
I'd say
which is my sweet spot. I love
I think
love a 6-year-old
a 6-year age is a really perfect spot, I think, for a lower proof option like this at 93 point whatever, 7, maybe. So the fruit leaves as soon as I swallow. I think we're getting, it's not pineapple. There are maybe some hints of that soury sweetness. I can't place an exact fruit or flavor to really go with that, but it's a soury sweetness. And not overly sour, we're not eating like a sour gummy worm or anything with this, but it pairs very nicely with that oaky, spicy flavor as it moves back your tongue to finish off on the palate. And I really like that first introduction, especially that second sip, really eases you into it after that. And I think this becomes an easier drinker the more you drink it.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting that sweetness. It's not a vanilla. It's not a caramel. It's fruit.
Yes.
It's fruit. What about kiwi?
You know what? That works.
Kind of a cross with it. It's not as sweet as a strawberry.
Nope.
And kiwi has that, can have that to it. But
it's almost like a strawberry kiwi mix.
Yeah.
You're getting that sour from both, but that pleasant sweetness that comes through with it, which strawberry and kiwi is a time-tested flavor combination.
Right.
So that's a really nice soury sweet introduction that then leaves you with that traditional bourbon taste on the finish and on the mid palate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving the oak.
Yeah,
loving the oak that's coming through with this. This time I'm going to try to draw some air in with it as I sip.
Good idea.
And see if that oxygen will kind of help that front
fruit
palate
flavors,
a little bit.
See if we can push it a little further back on the tongue. I don't think that helped. I think that exacerbated the oakiness.
Not for me. It helped. It helped on mine, but I'm not.
It's still really hard to place.
Yeah, I didn't get as much oak that time. But yeah, this one takes some revisiting. This is one of those that, although it's not, and we've mentioned this before, and I'm sure we'll mention it again. Sometimes you'll taste a bourbon and you'll go, no. I will, anyway.
I will.
And what I say all the time is, don't judge a bourbon on the first pour. Don't judge it bad on your first pour. This is one where I'd say, don't judge what you're tasting on your first pour. This one might be one I've got to revisit, really thinking about it. I mean, I've drank a good bit of this,
Fair bit of it.
But I wasn't thinking about it. I'd been working on a project,
So the character that this describes is rich flavor and velvety. I think that mouthfeel, as far as the velvety, definitely does work. It's
there.
Thicker. That's a big problem I think you run into a lot of in newer distilleries, is that the viscosity is very watery. And I think that's part of the reason why some of that flavor leaves you so quickly, is because there's nothing to stick onto your tongue and really linger. This stays with you. I don't think it stays with us as much as some other things we've tried today. For me, it's fading a little quicker, but that could just be the oakiness, the tannin of that oak that for me is leaving faster, because that's not my ideal flavor that I want to get out of it.
I could see it, but I can tell you, my tongue feels coated right now. I feel bad because I've been drinking this just
willy-nilly.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, it's I'm ready to shut down for the evening.
4:30. I'm not working all day.
I'm not measuring. I'm not working with electrical anymore. I just need a pour, right? So, and I haven't been paying as much attention to this. This is really good for me.
Yeah.
To slow it down a bit and go at this a little bit differently.
That's what I've tried to do my tastings on my own at home after work and stuff like that.
Speaking of slowing down,
I take usually 3 sips.
I'm not offering this to you. This
3
is
sips is what I kind of like to get out of a 4, especially for a tasting. I don't want to get too much when I start. It's okay. I make a little hiccup burping sometimes with the bourbon too. I don't want to get too much. So like those first 3 sips is for me as I'm learning. Because I think if I continue to get more and more, I might start to change my opinion just thinking I'm getting different things because I'm continue to try it. So I started that way when I first few. I'd give myself a hefty pour, probably a double, and I'd probably get 8 to 10 sips off of it. And I think by the end of it, I was nowhere near where I started.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes your first impression, your first instinct is right. And I think the more and more I sipped on the same thing while I was trying to form an opinion, I got less and less away from what it actually was. So 3 is my sweet spot. If I can keep it under 5, that's good. And that's just for tasting. If I'm just drinking, like give me a double and we'll sip on it as we go. But for tasting, 3 sips is where I like to be.
Yeah, I've been drinking for 45, 48 years. Mainly bourbon, some tequila in there as well, and some other things in there. So there's been a lot down the hatch. Some good stuff.
Some bad stuff.
Yeah, not a lot of bad stuff, just because
you developed your tastes early and you stuck to what you like.
Right. And so you kind of develop, what you're looking for, and different days, different things, different weeks, different things.
Different times in your life, different seasons.
Yes.
It's the end of summer here, but we've got some pretty nice weather today. It feels a little bit more like early fall.
For August, this has been great weather.
We're sitting about 83 to 75 degrees the last 5-6 days here.
Lows in the 50s.
Yeah, early morning.
Really nice. So, but this, as I look back on it, and not exactly sure where I was headed here, not from the drinking, it's more memory than anything else, but it's...
We talked about the sipping, how I get my 3.
I've never been what I would call a heavy drinker.
No, definitely. When he drinks, he sips, and if it's a long night, he might go through half a bottle.
Right.
And he's not doing it alone.
No,
in most cases.
And honestly, it's exceedingly rare for me to get a buzz on.
Yeah.
Experienced
drinker.
Yeah. It's I really do it for the flavor.
Yeah.
And I'm also an occasional cigar smoker, and so I'll do pairings, with it to do that. I've drank some scotch in my life. Scotch is just too bland, for me. That's
smoky.
That's why I do this. This would pair well with a lot of cigars.
I think so. I've only smoked 1, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But as I learned how to do that, and I've watched some videos to figure out how you're supposed to smoke a cigar, I can see that because that oakiness, because it's not smoky at all. There's nothing smoky about this.
No.
So that hint of fruit that you get with that spice and then transitioning to the oak would certainly pair well with some smokiness.
In comparison to the Willet that we've done a video on, which we can link, we can put a link in for. This one, while it's got that sweetness, where I described the Willet as a dessert bourbon, and I couldn't drink much of it. This one, it's sweet, but it's got that oakiness. This one I could drink more of.
I think I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I really like that Willet that we had, and that's something I think I could pour throughout a night. But something like this would be something I maybe want to finish the night with. Maybe 2 or 3 pours of this, finish it off, because I think I would appreciate it more if I had some sweeter stuff beforehand, because it kind of make me appreciate the raw bourbon flavor that this does give you.
Okay, so let's rate it.
We foolishly forgot to rate this.
Yeah.
So a little addendum on the end here. This is up your alley as far as this is one of your favorite brands. So what would you give this one today?
So I like the age. I like the oak. I give this one a solid B+. For me, this is right in my wheelhouse. I might, because we're focused more on it tonight, and we talked about this just a bit off camera as we opened it, and we really got that nose off of it, and talked about why we didn't pick it up previously, because we're really focused on it. We're standing right here over top of it, taking a little bit more time. It might even, rate just a bit higher, but I'm a solid B plus.
For me, this is, I think we're smack dab in the middle on my scale. We're at a flat C, and that's just probably my newness to the tasting scene, and probably not being so used to the oak forward flavors. But I can see myself enjoying this any day of the week. This would be something to keep on my bar for sure, if it's something I could get.
If you could get.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Right. It is. Wow. Although I've got a lot of experience, things can change for you. And don't take our comments and our opinions to be your own.
Or don't need it. This isn't the gospel.
No. And the gospel, according to the people that are telling you about it, is not necessarily the gospel. So it works the same way. So just understand that this is our opinion. This is based on our palate on this day at this time of day. And so it could change.
And we
just told you that this was a change for him from last night.
Exactly.
It's a change for me from a week ago. So it's all going to change.
I feel like a lot of it, and this is some pseudoscience a little bit, it kind of goes into where you are in your mindset when you're drinking. If you're stressed, when you drink or eat anything, it's not going to taste the same or as good as it could be when you're at a nice, relaxed evening out with friends or family.
True.
So being relaxed, and I think for us, this is a very relaxing experience. It's one of the reasons it's one of our hobbies, is that we can really sit down and enjoy and pick up things we might not pick up on a night after work or a day after you've been working.
Right. That's a great point. I picked up cigar smoking because it made me sit down for an hour and sit down and focus on that. And I had to stop running and gunning and doing something else. It made me do that. So as I did that, it made me relax a little bit more and get into this.
Absolutely. So, and that's something I found, luckily, earlier in my life than
I did.
That finding your happy place and your hobby and finding something you can escape to when you're done with your trials and tribulations of your day or your stresses or whatever it may be, having something you can fall back onto, like sampling and tasting bourbons, it really puts you in a different mindset and really makes you appreciate things a little bit more.
And speaking of that, we'd like to be your happy place.
Absolutely.
So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Give us a comment.
Let us know what you think.
Have you had?
Does Josh need a haircut? I mean,
Josh does need a haircut.
Let us know.
Absolutely.
So we want to get your feedback.
It's very, very, very important.
We're new to this. And
we have absolutely no idea what we're doing. As far as the video.
If that doesn't come through,
then maybe we're
probably
doing
will.
a really good job.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I'm great. I mean,
look at him.
I thought all I was going to do is just stand here and drink bourbon. I didn't realize I was going to do other stuff. So,
it's getting director's notes.
Yeah, there's been a couple of these we'd have to do more than one take on, and I'm not happy with that. I'm telling you right now. I'm like Frank Sinatra. I'm a one take guy. That's it. But he doesn't believe in that. So
no, do it till you do it right.
He also doesn't know who Frank Sinatra is. So.
I love Frank Sinatra, and there's plenty of Frank Sinatra on my wedding playlist.
Oh. You're getting married?
Yes.
How about that?
In about a year.
Congratulations.
About 14 months.
Where are you doing it?
Here, actually, in this very building that we're standing in.
In this building. How about that? Wow.
We'll have to spend some time trying to figure out what my wedding bourbon is going to be.
There you go.
We could do a little series where we keep trying things. Maybe get some nicer bottles we wouldn't normally buy.
I might have some specials laid back.
Okay.
Just for this.
He's been thinking about this for probably many years.
So I might have some specials that were pre-bought with that in mind.
It's a good man right there.
So,
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you thought. Give us a comment. If you guys have a bottle of this, or you can still find these somewhere, perhaps, let us know. Let everybody in the comments know, because you never know. You might make somebody's day by showing them their favorite bourbon.
and so I do have an out on this. So I'll tell you this. I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget. So our videos will get better with time, just like bourbon. Have a great day.
Take care of yourselves.